Good evening and welcome to the Variable Y Minute. Is your host, the Variable Y. I thank you so much for joining me tonight. It's kind of late tonight, but I had some things I wanted to discuss with you guys, so I figured I'd get it in better late than never. And today is the day that we talk about the main topic in sports. Now, normally I try to do this without being biased. I try to take any of my feelings out of it and I try to say what I think the biggest sports stories of the weekend are. Now, because some of the big stories we've discussed before, Lamar Jackson, we've discussed him before. He's amazing. The Patriots won again. We've discussed them before. They're the Patriots. The 49ers won again. We discussed them before. They're the real deal. Won't do much in the playoffs. But so we've discussed all those main topics before. So today, some of you are going to say that this is actually something that is a little bit biased. And that's okay. I don't really care what you say. It's my show. So I'll talk about whatever I want. And what we're going to talk about is something that I do think is relevant. We are going to talk about the Falcons. Yes, like I said, we are going to talk about the Atlanta Falcons. In the last two games, the Atlanta Falcons have gone into NFC South opponents' homes and not only beat them, but destroyed them in their own homes. And they did it by playing some defense. The Atlanta Falcons defense in the past two games have had 10 sacks, 4 interceptions, only given up 12 points, and have given up no touchdowns. This is an amazing discovery, an amazing recovery, whatever you want to call it. It's amazing how this team actually has decided to show up and to play defense and therefore has won a few games. Now, do I think this is going to be the beginning of them going on this big magical run that will get them into the playoffs? I doubt it. Like I said, the 49ers are 9-1, They're 9-1. Dallas is 6-4. Minnesota is 8-2 and Green Bay is 8-2. So other teams will have to lose out just for us to get a chance. And then we have to win every single game, which, I mean, they played, 10 and they've only won 3. So the chances of them winning every game is pretty slim, if not just razor thin. But I do think that it does show that there is some light at the end of this horrible tunnel that we've seen for the first 10 games of this season. It does show that this team can actually do something that can make this city proud. It does show that this team can actually play defense. Just like I went to the first game of the home opener, I should say, and I think the team played well. I think the defense played out of their minds, and I think the offense was good in spots. They were bad in the red zone, but they were good in spots, and they were pretty clutch towards the end. So it's looking like that's what's happening again. Every other game, except for maybe the Minnesota game and the LA Rams game, it was always the offense that was carrying the team and the defense was lagging behind. So once Dan Quinn gave up those defensive play calling abilities, now the defense seems to have opened up and they seem to be getting pressure and they're getting interceptions and they're not allowing touchdowns. It's very, very encouraging to see. And honestly, I think if the team can keep this up, if they can go down the stretch and they can be 5-3, 6-2, Quinn may actually keep his job, because we all know it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And if he can get the team on a run to where they actually look like something and the defense looks like something, and he's keeping his hands out of it, he's just actually running the team, then he does have a good chance of coming back. He has a great argument to say, hey, we started off bad, but we got him turned back around. Just give me one more shot. And if you're Arthur Blank, why not? Who else is out there for us to get? One of these big time offensive coaches who have done next to nothing in the league this year? No, I don't think so. So like I said, I want to talk about the Falcons because it is national news. They beat the Saints at home. They beat the Panthers at home. They beat two big rivals in their homes, and those two big rivals are in the playoff hunt. So it is an amazing story. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So, hey, I enjoy it. I hope you guys did too. I thank you so much for joining me. This is Variable Y. Have a great night.